have been wondering, is it God that sat down and gave the angels the names to call them today? We have Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel, Angel Uriel, Raphael, and the rest of them. Is it God that gave them those names?
No, it's not God. It's the interpretation that human beings give to their interaction with these invisible beings. It's like they call God Jehovah Jireh. That's not the name of God. Nisi, that's not the name of God. Rohi, that's not the name of God. El Elyon, that's not the name of God. Makadesh, that's not, but Old Testament people called him such names. Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Mekadesh. So what happened? Because God is in a class by himself. So God doesn't have a name. You only have a name to distinguish one person from the other. There's nobody in God's class, so there's no need for a name. But in his mercy, as he interacts with man, he allows man to give a description to his experience of God. So those Old Testament people, when they experience God's provision supernaturally, they call God Jehovah Provider. When they experience God's peace supernaturally, they call God Jehovah My Peace. So all those Nisi, Jireh are all descriptions of men's encounters with God. And out of those encounters, they gave it a name. So all those names are encounters. And because it is language, God in his mercy allows human language to give expressions to his word, expressions to his dealings, and expressions to his plan and purpose within the confines of human understanding. So that's why the use of language. And that's why even in interpretation, it is still language. Let me say something to you. This can cause a lot of, but if people will listen carefully, they'll be fine. If they will listen. There are some people, they don't listen. They just, okay. Do you know that all the time Jesus was on earth for 33 and a half years, nobody called him Jesus? Nobody called Jesus, Jesus. Okay? Why didn't they call him Jesus? Because Jesus is the English transliteration of what he was called. So what was he called? He was called Yeshua, which is the word Joshua, God my salvation. So when translation was happening, they now took God my salvation and looked for a verbiage in English that describes that God my salvation. So he was never called Jesus when he was on earth. He has never had that name before. It is from us he's hearing that name today. Because that English version transliterates what the original Hebrew and Greek is. So language is God's mercy for man, giving man the opportunity within his community to give expressions to his plan, purpose, his dealings, his communications with mankind.
The reason I ask this question is because I've been wondering why all the angels in the Bible, they all have Jewish names, English names, and none of them has Igbo names, Hausa names,
Yeah, because the language, the original languages that the Bible was written in was Greek and Hebrew. And within those languages, they gave the expression to those experiences and encounters in their language.